Hello, Leo. My lovely Leos. I start with this, and the image that I have is very tender because it is you holding your heart in your hands, and the heart is in pain, and you're watching your heart be in pain. And it's here, it's out from you, it's out from your body, looking at this pain. And I feel like that's where a lot of you are at right now. I feel like for whoever I'm reading within the Leo collective, of course, this will not resonate with everybody. But I feel like the people I'm reading for in the Leo collective who are going through difficult times, emotional times, where their heart is being challenged and hurt and wounded, that there is this quality of you're keeping it out from yourself just far enough away so that because you're afraid if you let it be in you, it's going to destroy you. And the irony of that is, as long as it's out here, you're watching it bleed, it's not part of your whole system, so it can't heal. So you're keeping it at bay, but then you've got the strain of holding it out here. And you've got the pain of continuing to watch it bleed. So the card that you get is, do you want the problem or do you want the solution? And I feel like that's really part of what this is about, is bringing your heart home in a very real way so that you can ask, what exactly is the problem? Because once you know what the problem is, once you know exactly what's causing your heart to bleed in a situation, that's when you can start understanding what the solution might be. Okay? There is a quality here of not knowing exactly how you should be, not knowing how to interpret what you should be doing. Because there are other people involved, there are other opinions involved. And so it's like, well, like, why not? Like, who's saying? And ultimately what it's coming down to is it's got to be, why not? Who says so? It's got to be you who decides. But it's really hard for you to do that as long as you've got your heart out here and it's not in here. So what does that mean in a practical sense? What that means to me is you're struggling with this not knowing to some degree. And it may be with the unknown, like there may be things that you're waiting to find out about or understand before you can make a decision. So it might just be that you're in this state of not knowing, and therefore there is conflict because there can't be resolution at this point because the variables have not been decided. Okay? But what you're being asked to do is try to be as neutral as possible. Now, neutral doesn't mean numb. Neutral means letting things happen and letting them go by you, as opposed to hearing something and then thinking you have to have a reaction or a response to it. You can just simply let it move by you. You can listen and go, oh, there's that. Now that's going to be that. I don't know what that means for me, but that is now something, a fact that has fallen into place. Okay? It's very much, I see this very much as a situation that is creating pain for you. And there's also fear of more pain. Okay? But what you're being asked to do is, instead of trying to factor in, trying to think about and figure out what all of the variables are here, so that you can know what you should do, just let things happen one thing at a time. And from that, you can discern what it is that needs to happen from you. Now keep in mind, when I say from you, it's super, super important that beforehand you decide what is okay for you. So, you don't know 100% because you don't know what all the variables are that might determine what will be good for you in a situation. But what you do know is that there's a certain state of mind you would like to be in. So again, it may be broad. It may be, I wish to be peaceful. I wish to be harmonious. I wish to be calm. I wish whatever my choices are to be something that creates a sense of well-being for me and hopefully whoever else is involved, but primarily for me. And I know, Leo, that's not always easy for you to do, because you are some of the people who become the greatest caretakers. And because you are very much the kind of people who will go into service and care for people, you don't always really tune into yourselves and really discern what's good for you, what you should be doing for yourself. So this is kind of a new shift for you. Understand that a lot of the tendency to do that has often come from things in childhood where the best way for you to deal with whatever uncertainty was going on in your life was to develop this kind of tough exterior. I can, I will, and you've got the intellect to be able to, think your way through things and analyze things and do what you need to do. But it's that tough exterior sometimes that causes you to move that heart out here so that you don't feel too much inside. You can really kind of bypass a lot of the deeper feeling, but it's there in you. It's there in you. It's operating in a different way. Just the way your heart's out here, you're still connected to it. You're still getting energy from that and giving energy to that. So what you're being asked to do here is to allow yourself to really check in. One thing at a time. Whatever the situation is, what is the problem? What exactly is the problem? And if you know what the problem is, if you can define the problem and break it down, you can decide what your solution needs to be. Take it one day at a time, take it one thing at a time. And then when you make your decisions about what you want to do, don't let it be out of that old, I'm tough, I can manage it position. Take it out of this new position where you're bringing your heart home. You're letting yourself feel what the emotion is, however difficult it is. Because if you go through the difficult emotion, rather than jumping up and stepping up to take care of business so you don't feel the emotion, that's when you go into overdrive. That's when you fulfill that old pattern of, I will take care of other people so that I don't feel the discomfort of their pain, so that I don't face self-criticisms about what I haven't done or criticisms from other people for what I haven't done. This is very much about you letting go of old patterns, learning how to take care of yourself in new ways, but really doing that by getting in touch with bringing your heart home, letting yourself feel through the pain, the sadness, letting yourself trust yourself enough to feel that, okay? Because you have expanded greatly, and part of what's happened is you've reached a limit of feeling like you are at your wit's end. There's also a guidance here to remember that the universe is at play with you. Look out for solutions and ideas that will come to you intuitively. That comes once you can get to neutral, okay? And what you're being asked to do here is set yourself up some kind of a system. There you go. Surrender, giving it up, neutrality. Let it be one thing at a time, okay? In the meantime, do whatever you can do to keep your own personal energy up. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't mean falsely. It means listen to things that you like to listen to that support you. Listen to or read spiritual texts or metaphysical things that give you hope. Laugh at things. I love reading The Far Side. I love cartoons that are absurd and make me laugh. Whatever is going to, and of course, the obvious thing for many of us is get into nature or look at programs of nature. If the ocean fulfills you and gives you a sense of wonder with that, then look at programs around that. And if you can get away for a holiday or get a break to get out of the energy that you're in to help shift your mind, do that. But it's really very much about one thing at a time, okay? check in to find the problem. Then you can start discerning what the solution might be based first on what's good for you. Okay? And then from there, let that define it, because remember, you're not the only person in the world, Leo. Sometimes you've kind of created that image for yourself that makes you feel as though you're the only one who can do it and you're the only one who can do it right. That's not the case. Sometimes when you step down and let somebody else step in, they might actually be better for the job. And that's not a put down. That's just a reality that when we can surrender and let things unfold the way they need to and keep the energy positive around it and not feed more negativity into it, it has a way of working itself out where people get what they need. But you've got to speak for what you need for yourself, okay? That's an important part of this. Okay, Leo, you have my love. Take care.